Welcome back. In the previous section, we discussed how man has irrationally overexploited the natural resources which God had or the nature had gifted him. We discussed this irresponsible attitude of man which led to habitat loss and massive species loss. We discussed despite everything that there is a hope, and we quoted the statement of Leo Tolstoy that man can never be happy if he is not connected and is not taking care of nature. So we come to, in this section we would be discussing how man is now has woke up and is taking care of the nature. So Nature Conservation Day, why do we observe this Nature Conservation Day, why it is called so? Let's talk about this here. And nature conservation, basically, what do we understand by nature conservation? Nature conservation is the moral philosophy and is a conservation movement. Of course, it's a moral philosophy because it is linked with God, happiness and everything. Apart from this, it's a movement. And the movement focuses on what? It focuses on protecting the species from extinction, in maintaining and restoring the habitats. It focuses on enhancing the ecosystem services like cleaning of air, etc. And it also focuses on protecting the biological diversity so that the ecological cycle, nutrient cycles, all of them run well and they lead to a sustainable growth of the nature. The conservation movement is not new. It is a political, environmental and a social movement that seeks to manage and protect natural resources, including all living beings, animals, fungus, plant species, as well as their habitats for future. This conservation movement is concerned with living the environment in a better state than the condition they found in. So on a positive note, it does not treat a human being as the destroyer. He says human beings are a part of this and they will work to leave it better than it was given to. Nowadays we do evidence-based conservation, and what happens is that evidence-based conservation in these conservation movements calls for greater use of scientific evidences to improve the effectiveness of these conservation efforts, meaning the conservation movements have become very scientific. They systematically assess the scientific information from published and peer-reviewed publications, takes practitioners' experiences, independent expert assessment, and local and indigenous knowledge on a specific conservation topic. So the conservation movement have become very systematic and scientific. So it exploits all the information in a very systematic manner, and this information is analyzed and studied to develop better management interventions and better management practices to deal with these threats and the emerging problems or maybe the several economic factors. These conservation movements, these conservation efforts now have led to better situation, like as of 2018 we could protect 15% of the land and 77.3% of the oceans. This could be protected as of 2018, and now many environmentalists, they set a target of protecting 30% of the land and marine territory by 2030 and 50% by 2050. So once the targets are set, they are achieved also, but we are progressing towards positive direction now, and Nature Conservation Day is a part of that revolution. It is celebrated on 28th July as a reminder about the grave situation. This aims to encourage people to conserve nature by conserving natural resources, all natural resources, water, fuel, air, mineral, soil, wildlife, etc., for our future use and for our future generation. So this 28th July is being celebrated, and on a positive note, people take oaths in this. There are lots of things happening around on this day to remind that we have to conserve the nature. The day also awares us about how nature imbalance is causing problems like deforestation, degradation of land, soil erosion, etc. And this is, of course, the part of conservation revolutions, but Ministry of Culture via their official Twitter handle posted a video and captioned it what? Nature worship is indeed an integral part of Indian culture. So again, as I said already, it is linked with our spirituality, like it has always been a part of our culture, Indian culture. And the Nature Conservation Day, the ministry, they requested that on the occasion of World Nature Conservation Day, let's all make a pledge to protect, conserve and sustainably manage our natural resources and make this world a better and a healthier place for future generations. And this message they gave with the help of this Twitter video, which can be watched online. These conservation movements are not new. They have been happening from the time of the Romantic movements, where poets and literary people used to write about them. Of course, the present 28th July being celebrated as Nature Conservation Day, you get not a very old record as this term, but the conservation movement, conservation of environment efforts have been there since 1800 to 1850, and this conservation ethic began in British time. And there were three main principles where people realized and they were working is that human activities have damaged the environment. They realized and accepted this, and there was a civic duty to maintain the environment for future generations. It was the basis of these movements at that time in the British rule. And they said we have to have a scientific and empirically based methods to ensure this duly, meaning we should have scientific methods to conserve the natural resources. And one name, Sir James Ronald Martin in British India, prominently promoted this ideology. So nature conservation has been a part of our culture and religion. It's not new, but Nature Conservation Day now has come back in this form on 28th July. And it has different meanings for different persons. Like for environmentalists especially advocate the just and sustainable management of resources and supervision of environment through changes in public policy and individual behavior. There have been several environmental movements, and in recognition of this, especially the environmental movements, they treat human, as I said earlier, humans as a participant and not the enemy of ecosystem, and which is very much a fact. We are a participant, we were the dominant species, and of course the negative influence destroyed the habitat, but the positive influence also is going to bring it back. So this conservation movements, they are centered towards the human health, ecology, human rights. And there is one book by E.O. Wilson, the book Half Earth, and it created a lot of interest among people that why half movement, why not full. But this project was half the earth. They said in 1970 that if half of the earth is saved, we'll be able to save all resources. And they had some calculations. They were saying that by saving half of the earth, up to 80% of the diversity would be saved. So, but these projects and these movements are on the way in recent times, and people are proposing and working on this. So that is what it means to environmentalists, meaning they want to bring out new methods, new revolutions, new movements, so that the nature is conserved. But what does it mean to biologists? The biologists study this under conservation biology, which is the study of conservation of nature and Earth's biodiversity with the aim of protecting species, their habitats and ecosystems from excessive rate of extinction and the erosion of biotic interactions. So, conservation biology is always a part of biology, especially studied under ecology, and is sometimes also called as conservation ecology. It is truly an interdisciplinary subject which draws on natural, social sciences and the practice of natural resource management. Today there is an increasing pressure to redevelop the conservation lands for high priced foods and biofuel crops. So the pressure is increasing for sustainability and conservation of the environment. So let's see what Conservation Day means to students. The students are the ones who are our next future generation, for whom we want to save everything and pass on to them. The students are quite excited about this Nature Conservation Day. They are the ones who are actually involved in this. The students in schools are taking oaths in prayers, and by abiding all the laws of these conservation movements, they are propagating the agenda by poster making, poem recitation competitions, and lots of cultural activities being organized to further expand this concept of Conservation Day and remind everyone that the conservation is very, very important. And it's a point where we should feel glad about it, because they are the ones who are going to take this to next generation. But we believe that every day should be a conservation day. We should inculcate environmentally sustainable habits in all spheres of life, from food to textile, from travel to agriculture, or maybe industries. So every day should be a Nature Conservation Day, because nature gives us all we need on daily basis. Whatever we need, we take from nature every day. But due to our overpopulation and human ignorance, we started exploiting the nature. We took much more from nature what we could give it back to this without replenishing them back. So we are getting short of resources because of this one-way traffic. But still, I said on a positive note, there is a scope, there is the hope remaining that we still can make a difference. And here is how you can make a difference to the environment and how you can contribute to the nature conservation. The Nature Conservation Day provides a great opportunity to celebrate the progress we have made and determined to take action. It's an opportunity to recommit ourselves to the beautiful earth so that we can enjoy a more sustainable future. We must stay in touch with nature right from birth, with the passage of time, and develop a relationship with this. We play an important role in conservation of resources and in preserving the nature of the earth. And from protecting the beauty of the earth, there should be a balance in various components of nature, such as water, air, energy, vegetation, mineral, flora and fauna, etc. So the Conservation Day we are celebrating, and in this Conservation Day it makes sense to talk about some of the heroes who have actually contributed to the conservation of biodiversity, and they are local men like us. They are local men, and many of them are illiterate people, but they set an example how we can contribute to this to the conservation of resources and make it sustainable. So the first example is Uras Khan. See, I have taken these examples or these stories of heroes from a lecture in BITS Pilani by Kara Tejpal, and she cited several examples, so I picked some of them which I liked to be presented here. First is Uras Khan. He stays at Thar Desert, Rajasthan. In the Thar Desert, what has happened? The great Indian bustard is endangered. You see very few of them there. Uras Khan was a herd, and he used to take care of his goats, cows and camels. While passing, he heard the comments of some of the biologists and conservation scientists that this great Indian bustard is getting extinct, meaning it's threatened and it will be gone forever very soon. So he got alert since then, and he had spent whatever time he had free from his routine care of camels, cows and goats. He had spent almost 6 hours a day in care of these great Indian bustards, and if there used to be any illegal encroaching or anything which could damage these great Indian bustards, he immediately used to report this to the forestry department there. So he formed a bridge between the general public, the community, local community there, and the forest department, so that the great Indian bustard could be saved, and thus the animal, just the small effort of general public, the local public, it made a difference. This is on the left side is Uras Khan in the deserts of Rajasthan. We have another, Manoj Gogoi. He is a bird lover, he is a natural gifted bird lover. He has trained with experience how to take care of birds and everyone, the nature animals around. He stays very close to Kaziranga National Park. And what used to happen at that time when Manoj Gogoi became active, what used to happen is that people were scared of wild animals. If enters in their house, they used to kill them. If any bird is not wanted by them, they used to kill them. Manoj Gogoi took this step forward. He conducted lots of workshops. He spent time with this local community, educated them about the importance of these animals and birds, and they gained confidence of the local population. Now the scenario there changed around Kaziranga. What happened is that if people see any dead animal or any bird falling down, they will immediately telephone Manoj Gogoi so that they could save that animal rather than undesirably killing them out of fear. So that was another hero who is actually working in the present day times to save the species and the diversity and conserve the mother nature. Another one, Sajal Madhu from Chhattisgarh. What is he doing? In Chhattisgarh, what is happening is there is a elephant and local population conflicts. The elephants are not getting the proper space, food, water for survival. So he goes around the local population, and the local population used to kill the elephants. Lots of elephants were killed in this process, and that was a damage to the environment and the system, and we needed conservation. Sajal Madhu was an optimist person. He educated the local population, he conducted lots of workshops, and he tried, and now at least the public is educated that killing elephants is no solution for this one. Another one is fishing cat, and the hero here is Joyeb Pradhan from West Bengal. This fishing cat, as its name suggests, is fishing, meaning it used to eat everybody, the native population, the fishes there, and people usually did not like this fishing cat. They tried to kill them because sometimes this fishing cat also predates on the goats. So the native population was in a way of retaliation towards these fishing cats. They used to kill them. Joydev Pradhan took this point into cognizance, and he tried to work on this, and he was a very innovative person. He created a goat bank, I would say. He kept lots of pregnant goats in his bank. And what happened, because of this bank, what he did is he had goats available wherever he found that a family is hurt, his family is in despair because of this fishing cat who has predated on their goat. He used to immediately go and give them a goat. So this way he could change the antagonistic environment toward these fishing cats and save these fishing cats, which was diminishing because of this retaliating and negative behavior of the local population there. Another hero is Anoko Megha from Arunachal Pradesh. What is this? This gibbon monkey. This gibbon monkey in Arunachal Pradesh, what has happened is, because lots of trees have been cut, they used to live on trees, and the families of the monkeys, they live on trees and they want to stay together, but because the trees were becoming scarce, they were finding it difficult to live together. So Anoko Megha, he tried to provide a space for these monkeys. He requested the local population to grow trees in their farmlands. He also promoted the development of corridor trees so that these monkeys, they can live with their families in that area, and that really made a peace to the nature so that the species were not getting extinct. So there are numerous stories, but I found these 5 interesting, and I tried to pick them from different regions so that I can convey that it's a national movement. It's not that people now are ignoring. Everybody is working hard and everybody is doing their best so that we can save our mother nature, we can reduce this pollution, we give back to the nature from where we have taken a lot. So with this note, I just want to convey this message that act before it vanishes forever. The humanity, this owes it to nature. When nature has flourished humanity so much, it should give it back to the nature. And there is a very popular statement that wildlife in the world can only be protected by love of compassionate hearts in the world. See, the point is, from all through the discussion, all through the talk, this emotions, this worshipping nature, and the element of gratitude which is needed on this Nature Conservation Day, the element of gratitude and worshipping towards the Mother Nature, who has gifted us with innumerable gifts of air, water, and all sorts of positive, beautiful trees, animals, plants. So it becomes a duty of the man to preserve and conserve and follow all the laws of conservation before these species they extinct and vanishes forever. The man will not be able to live longer because it in a way threatens its own existence. So with these words, I like to convey and request everyone around on this Nature Conservation Day to contribute every day, take this pledge to contribute something positive toward the nature, towards your environment. Try to give back to the nature because we already have taken enough from the nature. So with these words, I would like to close this talk. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.